Hello people, welcome back to my channel. So hope you are enjoying the Python skill series so far. So in today's video, let's discuss about the dictionary data structure which is available in Python 3. So this is the parent to what we have learned about the set data structure. So before we begin about some of the operations and some of the features that are seen in dictionary, let's go through some of the points that are there. So first of all, as opposed to set, dictionaries are characterized with the help of key value pairs. So it contains certain key value pairs, and just remember the keys are unique. That is, it can be of any data type. Means it can be of string, integer, or character, or any other data type which you have seen so far. And then values to which these keys are assigned are non-unique. Means value can be multiple. So say for example, in keys, if you are storing about the student data, so the roll number or the id, that will be unique. So each student will have a unique identification number or roll number, but the name can be conflicting, or not conflicting. In fact, it can be same, so two persons can have the same name. So that's why values are non-unique. So, and it is of multi-type, so you can keep list data structure, or you can use tuple or float. Even it depends upon the scenario on which application you are working on. So depending upon that, you have varied type of data structures that are available. And then you have heterogeneous keys and values. So as with the other data structures that we have discussed so far, we have heterogeneous keys and values that are possible. And as I mentioned before, this is parent to the set data structure. Means some of the operations that are possible with the set are also possible with the dictionary data structure. And so since set has no indexing concept, no slicing, no ordering of the elements, and dictionary has also these extensions, and it will be in context with the key value pairs, that is the basic elements of dictionary. And finally, they are mutable. Means you can do certain kind of operations by which you can clear the dictionary, or you can remove some of the items. So everything will be seen with the help of one example. So I have already certain cells that is created. So let's begin about the creation. So for the creation, usually we write this way. So when in set we wrote this, it gave us the dict data type. So similarly, you have the dict data type, but as opposed to set where you input elements by comma separated, here what you have is, say I have first dictionary. In that I'm storing the key as integer, and to that I'm storing a name in string, that is integer 10, that is Alia. And then we have 11 integer, and that is Binod. So this is the most common word that is happening in social media. So just for a fun, I have considered this. So no issues. So this is one way. And then we have a second way of writing. So that is with the dict constructor which you have. So here you can see from the pop-up, it creates new empty dictionary, and new dictionary initialized from a mapping object. So it has key value pairs, but the thing you have to notice is that the way it is written. So when you manually insert elements without using the dict constructor, what you observe is like you put the key here, and then you have a separator as the colon. So whatever comes after that, that will be your value or considered as the value. And so this is one value that is considered in dictionary, and it will be separated by comma. And then you have second set of value. So this is the second set of value which is there in the dictionary. So this is how these both things are characterized. So if you now run this, and you can see one dictionary that is having this key 10 and Alia, and second is 11 key with Binod. And then this is the second way that how we can represent a dictionary, that is with the help of dict constructor that is predefined, which is there built in. And in this, just remember, like whenever you are putting this key, so you cannot put any integer, instead it will be string. So and you have to put an assignment operator, rest remains the same. So this is the two ways by which you can create a dictionary, but mostly people follow the first method of creating. So just stick to one method of creating dictionary, else it will cause you some ambiguities when you implement certain things. So I mostly preferred this way, which I have highlighted. The alternative way of this is this one. So you can follow either of which you like to do, but in some places and some instances you need to use some of these. So that's why I just mentioned, like these are the two different ways that are possible. Now what I have is to mention about accessing the elements using a list comprehension. So this is one of the important thing when we do certain kind of activities, even for data exploration. From the data set we mainly use this. So let's begin by looking at this, and I've written like it derives tuple and list. So let's see what is there, or why it is said like it derives tuple and list. So for basic example, I have considered a, dictionary. So this is a company data, and in this I'm creating three dictionary elements. So first value is an integer, that is the key 101, and to this I'm assigning a tuple, and in that tuple I have two strings or two elements, that is I have Bosch and Porsche. So these are two company names, and the second key is 102, and to that I'm in putting Stark Industries and Schneider, that is two elements in the second list, and to the third, that is I have Intel. Now there is one easy way of accessing the list element. So we have already learned about the list comprehension, why and where it is used with the help of example. So similar thing can be also possible in dictionary when you want to print the elements. So this is one way you can print the elements. So that is the most used. So you write for this. So val is nothing but an iterator, and for val in, that is the membership, and it takes company data dot items. So whatever items, so this is an inbuilt method, as you can see. So now if I run this, what you obtain is you have, so just see the output. So what input you gave is you gave a set, and inside that you have different elements, so that is considered as a dictionary in key value pairs. So when you get the output, it will be in one entire list. So this is one list, and so you can see this is one tuple, this is another tuple, and this is another tuple. So what data you see from here till here, so this is considered as one tuple, this is considered as another tuple, and this is considered as another tuple. So that's why I wrote like the dictionary has a relationship with tuple and list, so it returns a list of tuples. So the resultant from this is that you get a list of tuples, and if you just want to print only the values, that is whatever is there inside this uh, boxes or the list, so for that what you write is you do this. So k val, if you write this, so it will return you list of list. So if you want the tuple as well as the if you want the key as well as the value, it will return you list of tuples, but if you just want only the values, it will return you list of values. Now here, since it was in list format, so we are getting in this way, or else it would be of tuple or any other data type that is available. Now I have a second way to write this. So So for that we mainly use this, that is the for loop. So you are familiar with the for loop. So in all other data structures, whenever we wanted to print the elements in a linear way, we basically use this. So for k, that is an iterator in the company data, this is our dictionary, and in this I am printing the key value pairs. So just make sure like as of to set, like we saw like it cannot be indexed, so indexing is not possible, also slicing is not possible. And so similarly we are not slicing this, or we are not accessing the index elements. So this is not basically indexing, but this is a way to access the value. So when I now run this, what you obtain is you get the key and then value whatever it has as it is in the list. So this is just used to print the value. This is not indexing, neither this is slicing. So those two concepts are not there. And what this is like, the last uh, code or the last snippet here, this is nothing but it displays the available keys which are there. So it returns in this format. So this is a built-in way of representation. So dict.keys has these elements, and so it is put in a list. So this dictionary widely uses the concept of list. And so mostly in almost all of the EDA activities in data science, you have to deal with either dictionary, list, or tuple. So these are the most widely used data structures that is observed. Uh, Even with set, we have some kind of randomness. We have some difficulty in indexing and slicing. So we have seen with help of an example why it is not used. So these are the three common ways, or like the data structures where almost all of the things or operations remain the same. So you have to just note about these features which are there. So mostly in all of the projects, you just have to write only a few snippets or few elements like this to access the elements. Now let us move to the data manipulation. Since I have mentioned here it is mutable, so you can add or remove elements. So let's see how that is possible. So here I have the same data. So here I have the company data, but here what I did is I just changed the first, that is the key, from 101 to 110, and the rest the data remains the same. Now if I just print this, what you get is this, that is dictionary. Now just be focused, like I have entered that is 110 and 102 and 103. So but internally when it returns, that is there is one ordering. So here, as opposed to in this way, like you got the output 101 102, instead I'll just run this. Um so uh, yeah, okay, so I'll just print this. Yeah, so in this I just want you to make to the notice that in this it prints the elements the way it is, like because we have given the sequence in that way. But here when you observe, like you have 110 102 103, but when it produces the output, it will be in the sorted order of the key. So there is some amount of some level of sorting which is seen in the keys in dictionary, although there are some functionalities which are not explicitly available. But it internally sorts the keys according to the keys. It will internally sort, or by means of some dictionary order in case of strings, it will sort the elements and it will produce the result. So that is the small thing. So one more thing you observed, like I just rewrited this thing. So uh, our original company data was this one, and so instead of the first place, it got updated to 110. So now internally it also did the sorting. So shifting of the key value pairs is also done with the help of this. So this is how you can manipulate a dictionary. Next way is like I'll discuss two functions, that is one is del and then we have the clear. So first I will have to run del, that is del. So del, what it will do is it will delete one dictionary completely by taking the key into consideration. So so when I highlight this, you can see like the original dictionary now contains 101, 102 and 103. Now when I just run this, you can see now this is in accordance with this one. So now this has deleted with respect to this company data. So what you obtain is you have these two values, that is 101 and 103. So you can see the output here also after the execution you get this thing. So this is one way of data removal, so it comes under data manipulation. And then finally you can do something called as company data dot clear, that is dictionary dot clear. So it will clear the dictionary completely, so it will return you an empty set basically. So you cannot basically differentiate whether this is a set or whether this is a dictionary. So this is like instead you can do type. So it will be a dict in fact. Why? Because we don't have any initializations, that's why it is by default dict. And if it were to be represented as set, either you can use the constructor or you can do the initialization. So these are the common operations that is found in the dictionary data type, and so this will be mainly used in data exploration and data analysis in Python so far. So well, that was all regarding the introduction or a small glance or idea of the dictionary data structure that is available in Python 3. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found this video helpful, please do like, share, comment, and if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching this video.